Martinez.
We're live, Chivy. Hello, everyone. In typical Chivy fashion, doesn't notice what the hell is going on. We are live, and the teams are live. Manchester United versus Newport County in the FA Cup. Lots of things to discuss. Our next opponents have already been announced in the next round. A very, very strong team today, lads. We've got Bayındır having his first debut for the club, finally, after signing in fucking August or whenever it was. We've got a very strong backline in Delo, Martinez, Varane and Luke Shaw. We've got Casemiro returning alongside Kobe Mainoo in the midfield with Fernandes just ahead of him, and then Anthony, Garnacho and Højlund up top to match that. So as I said, a very fucking strong team. Ten Hag ain't taking no prisoners with that kind of selection. Chivy, just talk to me about Bayındır, how you feel about him starting today's game, because it's been a hot minute in it since, well, we've had to wait a while to see his debut.
Well, yeah. Before we came on, I saw a tweet from ESPN about Onana's stats in the AFCON, and played one game, conceded 3. No save at all. Like, he didn't make a single save. And he's already back.
God.
Yeah.
He's already back.
One error leading to goal as well.
Yeah. So, like, and I'm Nigerian. So yesterday we played Cameroon. And even though I was happy we won, one side of me was like, I wouldn't mind Cameroon to just win and stay in the competition, just so Onana gets an extra couple of days away from here. Because imagine him buying there, like, we haven't even seen him, you know?
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm looking forward to this. When I watched the press conference, I believe it was Simon Stone who asked, and I found this ridiculous. Absolutely, he said something like, "How is Bayındır going to fare with the pressure?" And I was like, first of all, this is Newport. He's played as a Fenerbahce goalkeeper in Turkey. There is literally hardly any. You can't count 3-4 countries when it comes to passionate fans more than Turkey. Like, he knows what, to a certain extent. And Simon Stone was like, how is it going? And I was like, you have to be like, do you listen to yourself sometimes before you ask these questions? But Ten Hag said, yeah. Ten Hag actually put him in his, well, I won't say put him in his place, but Ten Hag answered and said, Bayındır comes from Turkey. He's played for Fenerbahce. When you play for a club like that, you have to face Galatasaray, you have to face your local rivals, and you know, you'll be used to the pressure. So I think this would be a good one for him. I mean, you can't choose a lower pressure game to come into to make your debut. So yeah, I mean, everyone is kind of excited to see what he has to offer. We've all heard good things about him. I know everybody has a bit of their, you know, there's a down, you know, he has his shortcomings, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure a lot of fans too are looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah, it's one of them minutes where it's like Chivy mentioned, just, if you're going to go into a game on your first debut, you want it to be against fucking Newport County, don't you? Yeah. Do you think it's been one of these situations with Bayındır where, you know, sometimes like Donny, for example, just because he was never ever starting, people kind of thought he was the answer, or people thought like, you know, you get that sometimes, don't you? When they're just not playing. I don't know if something's going on in training. What is your expectation of Bayındır? What are you expecting from him?
I just hope that he has a decent outing today, because it's taken him quite some time to get his first appearance. And I think at United, at least right now, I think it's very hard for a second choice goalkeeper to get any minutes, even if it's a cup game, because I think even under Oli, we didn't really, used to see as much rotation when it came to the goalkeeping position. It usually used to be the hair in every single competition, and similarly in Ten Hag's case as well, he's banged on Onana in every single competition. And I think it is a good game for him to actually come in. You know, it's an easy game. It's not a game in the Premier League as well, so it's not as much pressure for him to just make his first game ever. So I just hope that he has a good game today, because if he does have a good game today, then Onana will be genuinely terrified for his position. Because imagine he comes in, he keeps a clean sheet, maybe, makes a couple of good saves, is actually able to make decent saves and clearances of set pieces as well. Onana will genuinely be very scared for his position then.
Yeah, Bayern's got to start putting in some Oscar like say, even if it's not an hard save to make, just make it look like it's hard, so you can, you know what I mean? Because Onana does that sometimes. Sam's mentioned about your audio, Shreya, being super low. Could you just double check that for us?
Sure.
Of course, Chivy is going to have two centre backs in front of him that I don't know if Onana's actually had yet. I'm not entirely sure. In Lisandro Martinez and Rafael Varane, the actual, them two were the kind of cornerstones. Is that the right word? I don't know what word I'm looking for, but them two were the main guys last season, and one of the main reasons why we had such a good defensive record. Do you think we'll be able to keep them fit now, Chivy, these two together?
With injuries, you never know. So it's difficult to give like a definite answer. I know that with Lisandro, he's been back on the grass for at least a month. So what that tells me is that we're trying to make sure that he was fully fit before we had him back on the pitch. I don't think he was rushed. It doesn't feel like he was rushed. And I think he came on for a few minutes the last game. Also, I think we saw him come back in. So, Varane, you never know. I mean, you can try everything you can. I mean, Real Madrid did everything they could, but it's a tough one with injuries. You can never tell because, sometimes he might just go into a challenge. Sometimes he might just be chasing the ball. Things happen. You just pull something. So
it's frustrating, isn't it? Because if you could keep him fit alongside Lisandro, that partnership's so fucking good.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. The only thing we can just do now is hope. We can just have hope. I'm not sure if this is verified or not. I heard it online, but I can't guarantee if it's true or not. But Ineos got rid of the physio or something like that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Someone from the medical department. Yeah.
Say again?
Someone from the medical department they got rid of.
Yeah. So, I mean, if going forward, I mean, because for me already this season is a write-off. We've probably have to go through this like 1,000 times. We have to write off the season halfway through.
Yeah.
But it's a write-off, and if we can get a really good medical team to come back in, and then maybe have some different practices, then we'll see what happens with Lisandro and Varane. Because, like you said, Nick, having them two together with Casemiro as well, like if we have that was just brilliant last season, and the amount of experience, ability, everything just together. If we have them fit for at least a running, we should be all right going forward.
That's what I mean. It's not a super exciting game, Shreyas, but with the players that are coming back, that's what makes it exciting for me. Like you talk about, we just spoke about Lisandro. I know he came back recently, but like starting, Bayern getting his first start. You've got Luke Shaw back at left back as well, who's mega important for us. Another one who's like, it was supposed to be a small injury, but then he's just like a few weeks. Like, I don't know what's going on with these injuries and muscle injuries. It's a bit bizarre to me. But Luke Shaw being back on that left-hand side, if you can keep him fit as well for the rest of the season, you can start maybe pushing, can't you, then, and start getting a consistent win of games together.
I think definitely, because one of the things that we've been missing for so long in this, this season is we've never really had the likes of Lisandro, the likes of Varane, and the likes of Shaw at the same time in this team. It's always been broken. It's one player is in, one player is not in, and we've just got Lisandro back. I think in the last game, Luke Shaw was expected to start, but at the end, like at the last moment, he had to withdraw. So I just hope that, once again, he's able to maintain his fitness. I hope that, he has a good game today. And if he can, if we can at least have Lisandro, Varane, and Luke Shaw, all three of them fit for till the end of the season, maybe we can still salvage something out of this. And maybe Ten Hag might be able to retain his job. But I think these three are the cornerstones for us when it comes to our defensive line.
Yeah. It's mad how strong it looks, though, isn't it, on paper, Chivy? Now you're looking at that, you think if we would have had that since the start of the season, maybe, bar Anthony, maybe we wouldn't be where we are. Because you look at the midfield, do you think that's our best, most balanced midfield that we've got in Casemiro, Mainu, and Bruno?
I think so. I honestly think so. I must have some. I haven't tested it, but I must have some level of dyslexia because I was looking at the list and I didn't realize that we had all those heavy hitters there. I was just looking at and I didn't realize everyone was
didn't register.
Yeah, it didn't register. I was like, what's going on? I was just, But yeah, that sounds amazing. Casemiro, Mainu, and Bruno.
Who sits? Do you think? Who's the sitter? Who's the?
I think Meno sits. I think
Yeah.
Meno sits.
Well, and Casemiro maybe pushes a bit higher,
And
explores
Casemiro is a
creativity.
little bit- Yeah, he pushes it because Meno's positioning is amazing. It's
Yeah.
just really like, he's sending, he senses danger, he smells it,
Yeah.
and I think Casemiro kind of supports. What game was it when he came off and we put Scott McTominay and then we conceded from a position that Meno had blocked 2 shots prior in the first half? I can't remember.
I know what game you're on about because
Yeah,
everyone was
yeah.
wondering about that. so,
Yeah, he'd been there twice.
yeah.
Blocked 2 shots, and then he came in, and Scott McTominay is nowhere to be seen, and the goal comes in from there. So, I think, as a fan, I don't know, but I'm just guessing. If I had to guess, I think Meno would say Casemiro go forward, and then would have Bruno. So this is amazing. I'd love to. I don't know if Eriksen is on the bench.
Yes, he is.
But I would have also loved to see Bruno, Eriksen. This is just me having a wet dream, but Bruno, Eriksen, Eriksen, Casemiro, Meno. I'd love to see something like that.
You want intelligent positioning, you want creativity and calmness on the ball.
Yeah, possession, get the chance, go. Send the ball on, so that kind of thing. But maybe they're all very similar, and maybe Bruno is the type to add balance to a midfield like this. So we'll see how it works. So this is actually, that midfield fills me with a lot more confidence going in, because as you guys know, I'm not a big fan of that top 3, that Garnacho, Haaland, and Antony. I hate to see that.
No cohesion at all.
Yeah, 0. They're all the same. There's no creator there. So maybe this midfield balances that. But yeah.
Well, a lot of people will be saying, Shoyaz, like this, why have you gone that strong against Newport County and why you've done that? In my opinion, I think he's probably done it because, we haven't had many games this month. We had 1 game. We played Wolves on Thursday, I believe it is. So if you want to get some minutes into the legs and maybe take him off in his 60th, maybe go about it that way. Do you think that's maybe why he's gone as strong, to get some kind of rhythm into the players?
I think rhythm is definitely one thing, because this season, if I look into this team right now, I can hardly pick a player apart from Dalot or Bruno who's consistently played a lot of minutes, like every game of the season. Even with Garnacho, it's been chopping in and chopping out with Rashford or Antony. So I just really think, considering I think Wolves will be a very, very difficult game for us. If this midfield, I think he's gone with this midfield and this setup because he actually wants to see it, how it can actually work on a pitch, and whether if this midfield is the answer to the way he actually wants to play. Because I still think Meno is, he's a fantastic player, whether he plays as a 6 or even as an 8. I think during his academy days, he actually played as an 8. He used to play more box to box. So I think Casemiro and Meno, it is a good experiment to do in this kind of a game, and whether it can be carried forward into the Premier League as well, we'll be able to see it much better. And apart from that, I think the front 3, we all know what the flaws are in it, why we are not able to have as many goals or assists in that front 3. So I think apart from the front 3, the midfield line and the back line are probably the best you can get right now with the amount of players we've got available. And in the attack, I genuinely hope that Haaland just gets some service today, because this is the one area where we've been seeing him struggle a lot, because he's just never had the ball, and in the mere seconds, like even if he's on for like 5 or 10 seconds, he actually does something that other players in our attacking line never do. He's able to hold up the ball quite well. He's able to maintain possession on the ball, and in the box, I think he's one of the best decision makers we've got. Considering he's just a 20-year-old striker who we've just got, he's the best decision maker we've got inside the box. He makes those small interlinks, those small flicks in the in the box, and it actually works out quite well. So apart from Haaland right now, and I would even say Garnacho, because at least from Garnacho we see more intent, we see more hard work, and at least moving forward, we know that if he is on the ball and he is bombing forward, maybe we expect something to happen. We don't see it happening with Antony. What I expect from Antony is he does a lot of work, no doubt about it. Defensively, he helps out a lot.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, but apart from that, moving forward, he doesn't really offer us a lot more. So
you may as well have just kept Dan James if you're going to do that.
Exactly. So I think Antony definitely needs to step up, because I think even if Ahmad will get minutes today, whether it's 30 or 45 minutes.
Should do.
I think
Should
he will get.
Start.
But
this is what we hope.
Yeah.
And this is what we hope.
Yeah.
But then this always surprises us.
But I think deep down, every single one of us knows that Ten Hag will be looking to give Anthony more minutes because he wants him to work out in this team. He is one of his biggest buys in this team. So he definitely would want Anthony to actually work out in this setup. And if he doesn't work out, then he'll be in a lot of problems because I still see him, trying Anthony out as his number one choice right winger until the end of the season.
The irritating thing for me is, Chivi, we just spoke about the defence, backline, midfield, how strong it is and how nice it is having players coming back. But then you look at the attacking dynamic. You had that whole situation going off with Marcus Rashford in Belfast and then training, but he's training ill now and he's not a part of the squad, like a whole kind of debacle going on around that in the media circus. Issues with Anthony we've already spoken about. Martial's out now for like the next 9 to 10 weeks, I believe. So we don't have any secondary striker whatsoever. So if Højlund gets injured, we're absolutely fucked up top. Which is that the most concerning thing for you, kind of in the next couple of months, getting that attack to kind of click?
Yeah, absolutely. And I really like Garnacho playing on the right hand side because it completely changes everything.
Yeah.
Changes the whole dynamic on how we function.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think I wouldn't mind seeing this front three if we had Garnacho on the right and Anthony on the left, because we know that at the very least, Anthony isn't trying to cut into shoot. So in his mind, crossing that thing, that's what he's doing. Just crossing and feed players. I'd love to see that. If what's his name, Højlund gets injured, we might have to do the whole Scott Vegos thing with Scott McTominay.
Yeah, that's the only thing we've got. Because if Højlund even gets injured, the other player who might play is Rashford, and right now Rashford is in a very, very bad position. So you've got nobody.
So we might have to do the whole Vegos thing, but with Scott McTominay. The whole but I mean, this is what happens when you don't plan properly, when you're still functioning as if you were in the fucking 90s, right? You have just a manager just overseeing everything, and this is what happens, and this is what we have to deal with. Hopefully we don't have to deal with this for far too longer. I don't think we've all spoken with you guys. I don't think I've spoken with you guys since we had that new guy come in, the Omar Barada guy. So people like that probably would help us in the future, but we are where we are at the moment, and all we can do right now is just hope Rashford stays fit, Højlund stays fit. We find a way to sort of rotate them, cover them cotton wool, switch them, find different ways of playing, because we have two players now that are not always fit. Because Rashford, Højlund has his injury problems every now and then. Rashford
He does, doesn't he? He seems kind of plagued with like little niggly injuries.
Exactly. So we just have to hope. We just have to be very, very economical with the way we use them. Take them off after 60 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, and then bring in players. Bring in Ahmad. Ahmad played striker for us before.
False nine. I've seen him play there before.
The false nine thing scored with his head, so why not? This is it. We can afford to do these things now because we have nothing to lose, really.
Yeah. So, absolutely. There's more and more people joining the chat. If you are just joining, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash a like on the video, and get your comments in. Let me know how you're feeling about the team first and foremost, and the game in itself. It's a cup tie. It's away at Newport, Shreyas. It's going to be one of those kind of cagey, bobbly ground kind of atmospheres. We had a bit of trouble earlier on today. I don't know if any of you guys saw the Wolves and West Brom getting a load of shit going off there, fights kicking off and all that kind of shit. But obviously that's a derby, so it's a completely different situation.
They're down the road from each other anyway, so...
Yeah, but just cup ties in general, they can be a little bit tricky and sticky shreds. But do you expect a dominant performance today, at the bare minimum?
Before a game starts, I never expect anything from this setup anymore, because I just think you can expect what you will see for the next 90 by the first 10 minutes of how we play. Because against Villa, I still saw something, and I thought, maybe we can, at least we're doing something on the ball.
Yeah.
And against Spurs, when it started, apart from Højlund getting the goal, it just looked like, there is not as much confidence in that team right now. It just never looked like we wanted to just, hold the game and just, go for it. It just never looked like that. And it's been happening throughout the course of the season. So I think the first 10 minutes will show whether it will be a dominant performance, whether, it will be a 1-0 or a 2-0 at the end.
If it's a 1-0, it's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Like, with a team like that, you can't be going to Newport County, mid-table in League Two, and
I mean,
winning,
against Wigan
scraping
as
1-0
well,
with them players on the pitch.
against Wigan as well, with the kind of team that they are and in the position they are right now, we were only able to
Exactly.
score just two. Like, just two
Yeah,
goals against
and they had
team
a
like that.
massive opportunity in the first 2 minutes them as well to score.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. So I expect for a 3-0 bare minimum complete domination. Minimum. Because I'll tell you what, Newport County players now in that dressing room will be looking at that team lineup that's just come out, and they'll be looking like Varane, World Cup winner, Champions League winner, Martinez, one of the best progressive ball playing centre backs in Europe, Casemiro, again, 5-time winner, Shaw,
Anthony.
they will be scared looking at that team. Well, Anthony has a different situation. They'll be like, where's the weak point in that team? And they'll be like, that side. Dallo and Anthony potentially. But I'm just saying, they would be struck with fear because obviously they're used to playing, with all due respect, at a much lower level than that. So, yeah, I'd expect them to batter him today with all due respect. I'm looking at the bench today. They've got Heaton, Johnny Evans is back for whatever that means. Kambwala, who I thought may start. May have got a start today. Would have been nice to see him, but Varane's starting, which is okay. Maguire, Ahmad, Ericsson, Forson, McTominay, and Pellistri. Anyone you'd look to bring out any players you want to see cameos at all in this game?
I think if we
Go ahead.
sorry,
Go ahead.
that was on for me. Sure, sorry.
Chive, for you, Chive.
Yeah, all right, cool. I think if we establish a decent lead, I'd like to see Kambwala come on for either Varane or Martinez, just to save them, just to to preserve them, and hopefully they don't get any injuries. I know we played behind the closed doors game recently
Against Burnley.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Got beat, didn't we?
Yeah, 3-1.
Got beat 3-1, I think.
Oh, we lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did we play?
Promising, innit?
Anyway,
Burnley.
Burnley.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
Anthony scored.
Fucking Burnley.
Anthony scored for us that one goal.
The one behind closed doors where we don't really need him to score. Of course, obviously he scores.
Yeah. But just to answer your question, I mean, did you say Pellistri is on the bench?
Yeah.
So okay, so we're having an issue with strikers now. With Martial is out, Jadon Sancho's gone to Dortmund. If we're going to have Pellistri, I mean, we need all hands on deck. So I'd like to see him come on. Maybe if there's some sort of way that we can, find out a dynamic that he features and he's more effective in the attack. I'd love to see that. I already said I'd like to see someone like Ericsson come on as well. We only have one game. Well, the next game is on Thursday, so I mean we can afford to have players come on and play. So yeah, I'm not too thrilled about Omari Forson, to be fair. Like I've seen him a few times in the academies.
All right, in me personally.
Yeah,
I know he's only young. I know sometimes it could be late kind of developing.
He was really good when he was young because he was playing a year above his thingy, and then I think when age kind of caught up with him, I don't know. I just don't see it anymore. So I don't know, but I'm surprised we don't have Isaac Aaron on the bench instead of Forson. Who knows? But yeah, indifferent to see. I mean, I'd like to see Pellistri, Kambwala, just players that come on to just preserve whatever we have now.
Yeah. Well, of course, if we get through tonight, Shreyas, we're going to play either Bristol City, I think it is, or Nottingham Forest. How do you fancy your chances against them in the... What, we're in the 5th round today?
Yeah,
is that right?
so
And then...
Yeah.
Was it like round 16 after that? I never know how the FA Cup structure works, to be honest.
Never do.
No idea. But we play Bristol City or Nottingham Forest, and you would think it's a relatively favourable draw. Then you start talking about quarterfinals and stuff. I mean, it's a nice run for us, isn't it?
Yeah, and I would really want it to be Bristol City because I'm not even confident when it comes to Nottingham Forest right now. But I really hope it is Bristol City. But just, I would want us to at least go to the deep stages somewhere. Like, genuinely, just at least go. We'll have something to actually look back into this season and, say at least we did something here, at least we did something here. Because apart from that, we only got 2 competitions left, and in one we are going to be fighting for 5th. So this is the only competition where we got left where we can, at least maybe achieve something. And yeah, I think considering the run that we've got right now, I think this is I think out of all the possibilities, we've got, this is the best case scenario that we could have gotten. That it's going to be either Nottingham Forest or Bristol City, one of them, because you never know. I think Tottenham played City in the early stages and Tottenham got knocked out. So it's a very, very good option that you've got moving forward.
Yeah. Well, Tenag's been speaking about this. Says in every competition we're in, we want to win. We're not in a moment where we can underestimate anyone. We have to deal with the opposition and also the conditions, the pitch. We need a win to score goals and to play good football. Do you take up an issue with the lack of rotation from Tenag, or do you not mind it at all, Chivy, in terms of how strong he's going in these competitions?
Yeah, I mean, we managers if whether they choose to rotate or not rotate, if it makes sense in the bigger picture, I'm all for it, right? But then in this scenario, some of it doesn't seem to make sense to me, and this is what worries me, because I start to feel, well, is he actually a good manager, or is he just is he panicking? Like, because I don't see the rationale behind some of the decisions he makes as far as playing, having players play. So, we talked about the goalkeeper position, already before. And I think that Bayande is only playing because Onana is in here.
Yeah.
I feel like if Onana was here, he would have played over Bayande. So the rotation is kind of weird, but to be fair to him as well, I know I've been very critical of him, but to be fair to him, he's had to deal with a lot of injuries. And maybe he hasn't, I don't know, maybe the journalists haven't been asking the right questions for him to be able to give a rationale as to why he's chosen to constantly play certain players and not play other players. So I really don't understand it. But I mean, we'll just have to wait and see how he does it. Is Wan-Bissaka on the bench?
No,
sorry,
he's out with a precaution.
Out due to precaution, apparently.
With a precaution, yeah. So if Luke Shaw gets injured, I mean, then how do we do with left back? Anyway.
Well, that was another question that got posed in the chat. Where the fuck is Malacia?
I think he's coming next week.
He was supposed to be back.
He's coming next
week.
Is he
coming
next week?
Yeah.
Next week.
Where the fuck's Mason Mount? He was supposed to be back.
He's still training. He's still training to get him to get up to fitness.
Look, when anyone asks me about the 23-24 season, I'm just going to say riddled with injuries that no one had a fucking clue what they were.
Yeah.
That's all this season has felt like for the majority of it. Like, we're almost in February and he's still like, where's this guy? What's he doing? What injuries he got? Why is he not here anymore? He's gone off over there. Like, there just seems to be mad confusion about
he
like,
got sold.
I don't get it.
He was on loan, got recalled, and then got sold to a club.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you want any kind of example of how a club is run just in a strange way.
We've genuinely not got any depth. Like, you look at our backline, we've not got anyone to rotate with. And even if you look at our midfield right now, the only two alternatives that you've got is McTominay and Eriksen. And, against this sort of a lineup as well, you would want Casemiro to be back because he hasn't played at all. You would want him to get up to, he will definitely be rusty. So you would want him to get up to speed, especially, when you're coming up against a team like Wolves and we know how they operate, how they're going to attack us. They know our weak points as well. So you would want
Molyneux as well.
Exactly.
Bogey team, innit?
Yeah. And so you would want Casemiro to be up to speed. In the attack as well, we've genuinely got no one to rotate with. Højlund is the only striker we've got. Then you've got Garnacho and Antony, and then the rest of the senior players are actually gone. You've got no one.
I get that, but I feel like we say that every season. Like, we need to get rid of this guy and get this guy. Like, I don't know. United is just a head fuck, really. It just makes no sense.
One of the issues that we've also had over the years is that we buy players and then we sell those same players and then keep the fucking people that we need to sell. We still have them, so it's just a revolving door of people who've come in recent years and gone, but then some of the main issues still remain. So this is one of the issues. Like but
me and Shreyas was saying that about like Kovar. We were saying I don't understand why you go spend 10 million buying there as a secondary keeper. Don't play him when you could have just kept Kovar there. And if you're going to play him only against Newport or only against whoever, you tell me Kovar could have played in this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got Kovar when he was 15 years old, and he was. I mean, I've been saying. I feel like I say this all the time. We fight to get these prospects, bring them in, and then just sell them for cheap without actually giving them a chance to do anything. I remember when we had him. He was really, really young. He had a really big reputation Russia or wherever he's from, Czech Republic, I think it was. Huge reputation. Came in, he's playing really well. Even when we saw him in preseason, he looked like he was supposed to be there.
Out on
And
loan
it
as
doesn't-
well. He did very well for Sparta Praha. I think he went
Yeah.
last
Won the league,
season. He
didn't
did.
he?
Yeah, he
On
won the
loan.
league.
Yeah.
And I just know that when it comes to young prospects, if clubs like Benfica, Leverkusen, and Porto are interested in your players, they've definitely got something to offer.
They know. So I don't understand it. So you sell him and then you bring Bayindir, who it doesn't make any sense to me. Really, it honestly doesn't. But
No.
yeah,
I think this summer's going to be fascinating, to be honest, lads. I really, really do, to see what happens.
so
Because they need
excited.
Yeah.
a big change.
I just really want to
this
see who
summer.
goes. Like before we even bring anyone in, I just want to see who of them actually, they end up actually
They-
selling out.
They
We've
need
been
to be
fair.
careful with it, though, because if they're looking at getting rid of big wages, they're going to end up getting rid of all their experienced winning players and having to keep all of the players like Chivi just mentioned, I knew have been here for years. Like they'll end up getting rid of your Casemiros and your Varans and these kind of guys who are on like
They're
300
not
grand a
easily
week.
replaceable.
We need them McTominay's and Maguire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. But then you need to be cutthroat in the same point where you looking at players maybe like Marcus Rashford and think like, what do we do?
I
Like,
think McTominay and
You selling
Maguire.
now?
I think McTominay and Maguire should be the first ones to go, even before you touch Casemiro and Varane. I think they should. Before you touch Casemiro and Varane, you need to get rid of the other players who are around.
Because we can make money off them. We
Yeah.
can actually make some decent change off them. And then if people come inquiring about, I mean, if Mbappe leaves Real Madrid and Mbappe leaves PSG and goes to Real Madrid, if PSG come and say, what's up with Marcus Rashford, we should listen to them and see how much money,
When
But
you,
then what I'm more excited about is who else comes in upstairs. So like
Yeah.
with the players,
yeah,
I'm not even thinking about them. If I just want to see the team that that Ineos is putting together, and so far it's making. I'm so happy about what's happening upstairs because then everything is taken off the manager's hands, and he just has to be a coach. Let us deal with the rest of it. We can have a conversation. But then support your people, and then we use analytics and all that stuff. We don't have to go through your phone records and see. Oh, I know this guy, I know that guy. Sort of thing, so
big changes coming. Of course, it's just football matters today.
oh, yeah.
So we're going to get
Carried
into.
away.
It's relevant, of course, because you go down kind of a rabbit hole talking about the players, and it all kind of falls back into the way the system is at United. So it's all relevant. But yeah, the game today, lads. How are we feeling score predictions wise? Chiwi, do you want to kick things off with that?
Ideally, I would like to see something like 3-0, but I mean, I wouldn't mind it too. I want a confident, dominant performance. Sometimes I want to see. I only care about the results, but today I want to see a performance, like really something that fills us with hope. So it could be 2-0, but if it feels like it was 4-0, then
And you want to take that momentum as well into the Wolves game because that's the important one away at Molineux. Treyas, you got a similar kind of.
Yeah. I think
prediction?
2-0 or 3-0. That's the only way I see it going.
Who's scoring for us though? That's that's the bigger question, I suppose. Who's getting on the score sheet? I think Casemiro will get a goal or assist today.
I think of a header or something. I think he scores.
If he's
Casemiro.
playing higher up,
Yeah.
like you mentioned, Chive, if his menu's sitting, I think Casemiro's get up there. And I think he could cause, with Bruno drifting and stuff, I think Casemiro can really cause some problems. So
I think
he's going to get an assist.
the highest goal scorer, isn't he? Or something like that.
Yeah. And that is, he's been out 8 weeks, which is a crazy thing. Last game was November the 1st, I think. So yeah, I think like Shah Sam says there, at least 4-0. I agree with that. Dan says could have been a great game for Rashford considering how the season has been for him, and he just bottled the opportunity. Kill the game in the first half, give the youth their chance. Tim99 says, I remember we lost to Bristol City away in the League Cup under Mourinho. I don't think I remember that one. Bristol City.
Yeah.
I remember the Southend one. Me and Sam was talking about this the other day. There was one under Fergie. I think we lost to Southend. MK Dons under Van Gaal as well, I think it was. There's been a couple in there, so it's not always guaranteed that you're going to win games like this. But, I mean, you've got nowhere to go. I sack him on the spot, mate. Sack all the players and the manager on the spot if they lose today with a team like that. Unacceptable, in my opinion. But I suppose we'll just have to see how the game kicks on. Of course, we will be live for a post-match after the game to discuss it in full. We'll have the pros and cons coming out tomorrow as well once I've had time to kind of sit on it do a bit of a analytical look at things and talk about the negatives and the positives. And yeah, apart from that, enjoy the game. It's been a while since we've had some football. I can't remember the date was when we played Tottenham, but it feels like a good fucking month ago.
Feels good to forget about it.
It's been a hot minute, so it's nice to watch some football. It'd be nice to actually watch what's probably going to be a win. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, guys. Hopefully we'll see you after the game, so make sure you come and join us and get your thoughts in the comment section. Leave a like in the video for us, and yeah, we'll see you shortly. Peace.
Cheers.